So Zach,
Yeah.
Dr. Hale.
Oh, there you
Dr.
go.
Hale.
Put some respect.
Yeah. Respect where it's due. You know what I'm saying?
That's right. I paid enough money for that, you know?
Yeah. So you're in the healthcare community, right?
Something like that, yeah.
And like, did you have to take the Hippocratic Oath?
Yeah, we did like a white coat ceremony,
All
and
right,
you'd say stuff.
Sweet.
You know.
So would going to work while you're sick, would that, how does that fit into the whole Hippocratic Oath thing?
I am gonna invoke my Fifth Amendment rights. I plead the Fifth. You know, it's so tough and sick. I don't even know what sickness means. Because I'm one of those people, I refuse to get sick.
Sure.
Even if I'm not feeling great.
Well, I noticed the last time we recorded, you had like one of those little...
oh, yeah. Like turmeric or like one of these things. Yeah, I don't know. It's like one of these health things.
It seems like there's been a lot of low-level things that just keep going around. To me, it's like you feel great,
brutal.
and then you don't feel great, and you feel great. I don't know if it's pollen or like the chemtrails or something.
It's like all my kids, like we've all been like mildly sick, and it all culminated on my birthday. On my birthday, I tested positive for strep throat. Sunday morning.
But you did see you got over the contagious.
Correct. Yeah. Once you're on
before you saw
antibiotics,
patients.
24 hours, no symptoms or symptoms are improving, and no fever. You're not supposed to be contagious. So,
Okay, all right.
Past that, but
So you're just working through the pain. It's really
working through the pain. And the problem was I had strep because I don't get sick, and strep is so weird to get. I was like, I'm not in middle school.
I
Why
used
do
to
I
get
have
strep once a year, and then I started sleeping with a CPAP, and I don't get it anymore.
Really?
Yeah,
That's maybe what I need.
maybe because I think maybe like if it was pollen plus kind of like mouth breathing type of thing, then it would just get that posterior drip and stuff, nasal drip,
and a part of me was
post nasal drip. Sorry.
I did not like I started feeling terrible. I was running a fever on Friday. But I was like, normally I kick things, but I kept sitting around. So I didn't get tested till Sunday. I was like, oh, if I would have got the antibiotics earlier. So I was like struggling with it for no reason. But that week I was like, I didn't really have a major dental procedure, but I had like a crown put back on. I got a tattoo. I was like, okay, I was like, maybe I'm just run down from like these things. You know what I mean?
I also wondered about the tattoo, like, because I heard that a tattoo might have systemic, like maybe make your body, because it is dealing with like some heavier.
And so it's really an open wound. It's some people will say like, oh, you get the tattoo flu or something. Like that's like a thing that some people are like, no. Some people are like, yeah.
Because I think I did get like a little bit. I was like,
yeah. Because people say you might run a fever, like a low grade fever, or feel bad for like a day or two, depending on what it is. And it's like, there's nothing like 700-year-old stamps getting stents. It's just a place. It was like very crowded. A place. I'm sure they take all the precautions, but
Yeah, and just while we're talking about your health,
there's more.
Sleeping guard, right?
Night guard, yeah.
And
Oh goodness, yeah. Oh my goodness. So I was gonna, maybe Jill knows this. Maybe you know this. So my crown came out an hour later. Thanks a lot, Jonathan White. I blame you. I'm just kidding. I blame myself. Got it put in. Great. 2 weeks later, maybe not even two, maybe almost 2 weeks to the day.
Is that 2 weeks to the day? Yeah.
I sleep with a night guard. 2 weeks, nothing. I took out my night guard. The crown comes out with it because the night guard's on there tight.
Yeah.
And I'm like so bummed. I got Google stuff and people are like, well, when you get a new crown, you're not supposed to, it's like, you need to get your night guard like refitted and stuff. But I was like, it's the same crown.
Same crown. Presumably the same location. I guess maybe it could sit a little bit higher.
Maybe it was slightly.
Yeah.
Something was different. I went to a different dentist because they had better hours. And I was like, should I not wear the night guard? And they were like, no, you need to wear the night guard. They like went in and like opened it up a little bit.
Like,
right in that place. Yeah. I'm like, I have not slept with the night guards. I should try it because I sleep better because I do grind my teeth. It is like so.
Are your teeth sore in the morning?
Yeah, like my jaw, like
Yeah, I probably should get a night guard.
I sleep way better. Leanne says I don't like snore, that kind of thing when I have the night guard. It is better, but I don't want to rip this thing out again.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, it's like so demoralizing.
Third time's the charm, right?
And I should set the I have to touch on. I should say I don't make the rules, but I mean now or later is my fault. So the whole thing started my fault. That was on a Sunday, and then. It was Sunday morning. I woke up, took it out. I was like, I don't have my crown.
You didn't know where it was at first, right?
No, I was like, washing my face and stuff in the sink or whatever, and I'm missing it. And Leon's like, is it in the bed? Get it out of the bed, but it was my mouth guard, yeah. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
You're about to say something about missing my Sunday school or something?
Yeah, I'm missing church left and right. Like I'm barely. I think my membership's getting revoked.
Definitely your leadership.
It's brutal. So I was really missing church on Sunday. Yeah, because strep throat too. It's like, what's going on?
Yeah.
So now I should be like good to go for like the next 10 years. So I've got all my.
I got it all out.
I usually don't miss stuff either, and I like secretly judge people that are like they miss church because they're sick and stuff. I'm like, who gets sick? Mm-hmm. That's what I get. Pride going.
Sickness is a real thing. No, I would have called out of work today, except for today is September 30th, the day we're recording. Not the day you're listening, but the day we're recording.
What is that? What's the importance?
Well, it's the last day of the fiscal year.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And starting 2 weeks, the last two or 3 weeks of September, we put all of our time in, especially for us because we're Navy working capital, which means that we don't get funded directly by Congress. So we get money from other people who get funded by Congress, and we're not supposed to make a profit. So we're trying to balance everything out and give any money back that we're not going to use. So they want us to put all of our time in. And so like they're trying to get it down, not to the penny. Like it's okay if we have a little bit, but taking 8 hours off when they were planning on you charging.
You need to,
It's like, so I was like, I just kind of pushed through it. But I was like, I don't know if it's the barometric pressure dropping or what, but I just did not feel the best this morning. So
part of the military industrial complex, huh? You just love to see us go to war, don't you, Michael? Get paid by I'm just kidding.
No, it's our job to be so good that people don't want to go to war with us.
Okay, all right, yeah. No, it's been brutal out there. I love my role with the company I work for is in operations, and I work closely with our sales team, and boy, end of the quarter, those sales start to pick up. Everyone's getting their sales, and it's like magic. We're trying to hit our numbers, and sales look really good the last week, So it's just like always.
You think there's more effort being given?
Oh, yeah. People are trying to either hit their quotas or get eligible for bonuses or whatever, and they're just doing
It's like,
everything.
why don't you do it all the time?
I know. It's like, what
would happen if you did it all the time?
Yeah, I always wonder how that works because it's like they're always like hitting me up like, Zach, let's try to get this case admitted. We need to get it. If we get it admitted, it counts. But it's like, what if it doesn't get admitted until tomorrow? It starts for next. I mean, I know you miss it this time, but it's like it gets you ahead of the game for next time.
Right, yeah.
Or it's like it should kind of always. I don't know. I don't know how that works, but it's like without fail. End of the month, end of quarter, we just pick it up.
Salesmen do think different than normal people.
Dude.
Yeah, sorry.
It's a different
sorry
world.
for all the salesmen out there that just heard me say that, but they think different.
It is a whole different world, like feast or famine, and it's like just crazy. Listener questions.
Yeah.
What's the segue? How do we make this?
I don't know, but we do have some listener questions,
Which is great. Love it.
and I've thought about maybe like ginning up some faux listener questions, because just like, hey, these are listener questions, but these are like legit, listener questions. And so if you have listener questions, in fact, I did get a question. Maybe we can tack on the end from
I love it.
Reformed MD.
Oh, cool. Yeah, probably a
about
smart
middle
question.
knowledge. So if we have time, we can maybe at least banter it around.
I love it. And these are good because they're very, very practical. So yeah, let's not belabor it. Let's go ahead and take it to the next level. From the hearts of the Low Country in South Carolina,
it's the Take Two podcast, where we take theology to the next level.
Q&A.
Q&A.
I'll throw a Q your way.
And I'll come up with an A, maybe?
Come up with an A. Very practical.
Yeah.
And I think it sits nicely. It wasn't too long ago we did this church series.
Yeah.
Clearly, we talked about the different, parts of a church
Sure.
and the fact, like, what's the goal. We spent some time, very positive. People should go to church, but is going to church like a must do? And that might be a loaded question that needs some nuance and qualify it. But
is it a must to be saved? No.
Yeah, that's the distinction.
And I think there's lots of times that we grew up with people and they'd be like, well, just go to church. Just go to church. Like going to church is the magic antidote for someone who's headed to hell. The church can't, in and of itself, can't save you.
Yeah.
So salvation is by faith through grace, by grace through faith in Christ. That said, we're commanded to fellowship with believers. So you can imagine that you're up like in like some godforsaken country like Maine where there's no churches or something like that, right?
Oh, snap.
I don't think Maine's that bad. I think like maybe Massachusetts is pretty bad.
Yeah.
Not a lot of churches. Or,
and the churches you do are probably Catholic. I mean, I don't know, like probably very different than having not saying Baptist is the best, but a Baptist church on every corner, like Greenville, South Carolina, or something like that. You know?
When Jill and I came here, we visited churches for a year. Some of them 1 week, some for 2 or 3 months, and like because there's so many churches here. Not that we're just trying to find where we fit in, but there's some places where you've got one, maybe none. So I think that sometimes a situation could make that where like there are no good churches and you try to find some believers and do the best you can. But under normal circumstances, you should find a good church that is preaching the Bible.
Yeah, that's good.
One of the things, speaking of us looking at churches for a year, I wanted a church where it seemed like people were genuine and it wasn't for show.
Yeah.
And that they were really concerned about the Bible. And there were churches that we would go to, and it just seemed like it was more pageantry.
Yeah.
And I was like, this just doesn't.
Yeah, it's tough.
I don't want the facade. I want people who are genuinely. So that's what I would say is find people who, they're not going to be perfect. There's going to be faults, but who are at least on the playing field. You know?
Yeah. I think that's good. And it really kind of smacks our culture our church evangelical culture in the face, where I think people they think church is a good thing to do, not a must do. They probably tie it to, you don't have to be saved to go to church, but they have like a low view of church to where it's like, just watch it on, we'll just live stream. Like they don't get that connectivity. And it's like, that's one thing that I think I can appreciate. I'm not saying, not on board with Catholicism, but some of these high church views, we probably should have a higher view of church, and that it is a means of grace, that it's not like mystical and magical, but God works through this, and it's not easy, but it's an easy way to be reminded of the gospel through fellowship, through the Lord's Supper, through singing Baptist. It's like it just hits you in the face where that is really good to be forced to consider over and over and over again.
I think that's good. And a couple of points I will make. So you're wearing, I don't know, the Steelers shirt. Let's just pretend, I know it'll be hard to imagine, but let's just pretend like there was a very egotistical quarterback for the Steelers right now.
Oh, I love it.
And he was like, I've been doing this for years. I know the plays.
Yeah.
I know how I'm going to throw. I'm going to practice by myself.
Yeah,
Y'all figure it out.
Good.
Like, no, you can't do that. You got like there is something about getting together, rubbing shoulders, and coming together as a team.
Yeah, that's so good.
You see that in so many facets of life, whether it's sports or job, family, and so God is basically commanding the same thing for the spiritual aspect of your life. Like you need to be on a spiritual team together.
Yeah.
But that also, like, you're never going to learn how to forgive people.
Yeah.
Or how to, think, I need to go ask for forgiveness myself, or all the one another's to care for one another stuff. If you're not there present with them, those things you're not going to have that opportunity to do in that context.
I love that so much. Yeah, you can't. It's one thing to know that you should forgive. It's another thing to experientially forgive someone. That's like a whole. Yeah. That is a different thing, and it's one thing you can know all the right things, but man, being forced to it's great. You've heard these from our church podcast, but we'll hit some of this. Hebrews 10, 24 through 25. Do not neglect to meet together, as is the habit of some, but encourage each other. It calls us to stir one another up to good works. This is where we do it in the context. That's how you make these relationships, and maybe they, stem outside of a Sunday morning service. But the church, it's important.
Yeah. Acts 2:42 has 4 building blocks: the word, prayer. We say worship at our church a lot.
Oh yeah,
it's the exaltation of Christ. But literally written is the breaking of bread, and fellowship is there, and they're not in that order. I think fellowship is like second. I think they dedicated themselves to apostles' teaching, to fellowship, the breaking of bread, and prayer in that order. So fellowship is very important.
So we see it's commanded. It does nourish our faith in a way that you just can't. You don't get that on your own when you hear the word of God preached. When you participate in things like the Lord's Supper. That's another one. We probably should do a podcast on it at some point too, because I think that's another one where it's like just not held in high regard. It's like something you do, but I think we missed the importance of it. I grew up in a church. We did it like once a quarter on a Sunday night. Like if you could like not do the Lord's Supper pretty often, but these things are important. It protects us from sin and drifting by having some accountability. Like you were saying, Michael, these one another's. You use your gifts to team. Yeah. Everyone's got different skill sets. It's like we know we win the game, but we still need to show up to practice. We still need. There's a means. Like we got to run the plays. Like there's thing God uses us to win, even though we know the outcome is fixed.
Yeah, one of your favorite verses. Bodily discipline.
Yeah, that's right.
It's good.
I love it.
But how does it end? The spiritual discipline is
better.
Is even better.
Yeah.
How are you going to do spiritual disciplines if you're not in rubbing shoulders with the brothers and the sisters of Christ?
So with that being said, I would say, so if you were talking to someone who professed faith, and they were not going to church, I would be concerned for them. Like, man, it's like, I'm not saying you're not saved, but I'm saying you are missing out on a lot. And maybe you're not saved, you don't have it as, unless there's a great reason, like you said, like, oh, I live 80 miles from the nearest church or whatever. I'm
in Afghanistan.
Yeah. Like there's some reasons, we could probably, have more leeway than like, I live in the holy city of Charleston. Probably not the best excuse.
Yeah. I'm just thinking that, in the upper room discourse, Jesus says that the world's going to know that you're mine by your love for one another.
Yeah.
So that's another,
that's really good.
If you're going to display the love and be that testimony to the world, like, hey, we're living different than everyone else, then you kind of have to be in around believers and show that love.
No, that is good. So that's question 1, is going to church must do. Question 2, also really good question. Prayer. Isn't prayer just like meditation? Or, when we think of maybe more broadly church, is that kind of like going to prayer, I guess, going to a boxing club? It's repetitive. There's an outlet. You're doing it in the context of community. What's the difference?
Yeah.
Because I think you would, you'll hear people like, man, I found my church. They'll even like use that phrase. I know in my neighborhood, we do Frisbee Saturday mornings. Like our neighborhood like loves that because it's like a way to connect with people habitually. You get to.
Is it only for neighborhood people?
No. Anyone can come. But people are like, man,
every time I drive there, I'm like, I want to get back in shape so I can play, because some of my favorite sports memories were playing Ultimate Frisbee with my Navy folks. Dude. We did that for 2 years.
Dude.
And there's no better feeling than sneaking past people and just sprinting and running in the air and snatching that and being like, oh, baby.
It's great. And I'll tell you what, Frisbee is ubiquitous in military community.
Yeah.
Because we probably have 4 or 5 ex-military that play with us that are not from our neighborhood, but they're friends with people. And they're like, I played for 2 years, when I was in the military. It's a thing. It's a thing. Yeah. And they're really good because they played for like 2 years. Yeah. But anyway, so isn't prayer kind of like that? Like meditation's big in our culture. Like what's the difference? And it is confusing because I think people who, if you get together in a community and exercise or you meditate, you probably see some benefits.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's
that was one of the points I was going to make, because like just separate prayer apart from it. So as long as we're not adding in anything bad. So like if you're meditating on false ideas that you might get from Buddhism or something like that. But just the act of stilling yourself, taking some time,
especially in this culture.
This culture, a lot of people talk about grounding, like putting your feet on grass. I know that like when I go out hunting, I haven't been there in a while. I think I might here in a little bit, but just walking out in nature, even if you don't see a deer, or like you're just watching squirrels or something, just calms you and stuff. So all those things do have a benefit to them because we live this life that's go. All right.
So that's good. So to like condense some of these similarities while you're making, and I don't want to get in the way of your point. There's like this intentional focus. You're setting aside distractions. There is a disciplinary nature to it. There's repetition. You have to set aside time. It does, reshape your disposition, shapes your heart, how you feel, you're responding to things in life. And it's usually, some of these, maybe boxing's not quiet, reflective, but there's some discipline where you're thinking about what you're doing.
Right.
And
you kind of get in the zone.
Yeah, in the zone, like this flow state or whatever. There's attentiveness. So anyway, you're making for, but there are these similarities.
Right. And then you add on to that, I get a chance for my soul to commune with the creator of the universe. Now, if you don't believe there's a creator of the universe, then prayer is going to seem silly to you. It will seem exactly like this. It's going to be like, okay, I can just achieve all this stuff without the fairy tale, old man in the sky type of thing.
Yeah.
But if there is a God, which you and I would say that definitely there is, and he longs to have a relationship with us, then why wouldn't you take time out of your schedule to get all these benefits from here and also to quiet yourself before the creator?
Man.
Tim would also add, okay, so now we can take some of this time and maybe we go over some scripture we have memorized. Psalm 23, you're my shepherd.
Yeah.
Even though it seems like I want some stuff, I can trust that I don't really have a need that you haven't met. And if I feel like I have needs that you haven't met, then maybe that's a part on me. So that's where we start changing. So, prayer can be very powerful in helping you daily, start setting your track and tuning your heart and your mind to God.
No, I like that. So if we're thinking about, we talked about similarities, thinking about how they're different. You said it, prayer, you're praying to someone. It's a personal living God. It's not about maybe self-soothing, or you're not looking inward, but you're working outward and upward. The goal of prayer is not just emotional relief, but the goal of prayer is God himself. Like you're trying to commune
but it might be cathartic.
But you also get some of that. Yes.
Right.
So if you're looking at the secular meditation, usually directed inward, maybe you have like these mantras or like, I will love myself today, or you don't even have to say that, but maybe some things like that. Or maybe it is outward, but it's like at nature, like I will be with this. I'm not trying to be pejorative, but like the hippie kind of thing, like this grass. I pray for the, because even people will be like, thank you, ocean, for, you know what I mean? Like it's like they're kind of they're like not praying to God, but you're like, come on.
Have you seen the video of the people that go around and they're lamenting this tree that's dead?
No.
Okay.
And they're like,
Let me show you this video.
Because it is crazy. I cannot wait to see this video. And then, like you said, Christian meditation, you're actually seeking to fill your mind, not totally empty it of everything.
Yeah,
even
there might be an initial emptying of all the busyness and stuff.
Yeah.
And then we're going to fill it with the good stuff. Yeah.
No, that is really good. And when you think of things like the power of prayer, we believe and know there's a God that hears you, responds. It's relational, and it's effectual because there is a God. There is a creator of the universe. From a secular meditation standpoint, you do get psychological benefits, maybe some physiological one too. Like you're slowing your breath, your heart rate's coming down.
Right.
Those things are real, but that's kind of where it stops. And you mentioned it too. If you're setting your mind on God's word, there is a transformation. There is a reorientation, a reshaping, where you see things different. You're renewing your mind, so you come out differently. And I think maybe a lot of Christians would do well to practice that more stillness side of it too, where you can that's what my guilt is. I want to absorb all the information I can, sometimes more so than it's hard. I feel like I need to do stuff sometimes. Yes. And it's good to unplug, I
have a 20-minute drive to work, and so I'm listening to scripture, and I'm praying, and I'm like, this is good, but it could probably be better.
Right. Yeah. Honestly, this might be, for most people, I think, and I don't think you need to live and die by a stopwatch, but pray for 5 minutes. That can be a long time to pray, especially if you're not guided by Scripture. If you're like, God, thank you for this day. You're giving me hope this day to go good. Be with my family. Like you know what
you're
I mean?
like at 20 seconds. You're like, I've said all the things I normally say.
Yeah. Where Scripture is good to kind of have a balanced perspective and pray for these things, and really just sit and commune with God and listen. Have your heart open to listening to what the Word is saying to you, because it's everything. Productivity. It's like I'm all about productivity, and I gotta like perform and metrics and it's like just so good to go slow. But it's surprising. It's like surprisingly challenging to do when you do it and can really unplug. It is great. It's just like I just want to go so much.
What happens to me is I'll do have like I will do this every day, and then I don't for like have that set really set aside time where like you're distancing from everything, and then
it's crazy. Life is so busy. I just got done with like a work trip to Florida, and it's like I can just like walk, and there's like no distractions. It's like nice when you don't have to do all of that. So I think we hit on that. It's similar, but very, very different. But that's why these benefits do happen.
Yeah, and there's a guy I listen to, Greg Kokel, who had a back injury when he was younger, and his doctor prescribed yoga to him. And so he's like, I do the yoga stretches. I don't like say the namaste and all the other stuff. And I don't put any symbolism into them. I do them because they're good for my body, and I get a benefit from them. And so I think there's nothing wrong to say, hey, we are physical creatures. We have minds. We're mind, body, thing. Yeah. And so even if all it was quiet time in nature, you would see a benefit from that. I don't think it's wrong to deny that.
Right. Yeah.
And then, but why not add to it this communion with the God of all the universe?
Yeah.
And then you're going to get both this, physical benefit and the spiritual benefit. So,
love it. That is good. Question 3. I think we're doing pretty good on time. We're kind of hitting these at a good clip. How does this compare with the 10 Commandments in Scripture, where God says He's a jealous God?
Yeah.
God says, don't worship anything or anybody else. If you spend more time dedicating yourself to something, really you're worshiping that, aren't you, is what this question's getting at. Another way maybe to say it is, if God says He's a jealous God in the 10 Commandments, does spending more time on something else mean we're worshiping it? I think that's a good question, because I think where you spend your time does tell you a lot about yourself.
Sure.
I think maybe we make some comments on, is that totally indicative of where your heart is? Like, how much do you work versus, is that, and I think some of these you can't totally answer by time commitment, but time commitment can probably tell you a lot.
Yeah. I want to look up this quote. Let me look up a quote real quick.
While you're looking this up, I will read, or I will give the gist of Exodus 20. We get 10 Commandments. You shall have no other gods before me, for I, the Lord your God, am a jealous God. And normally, jealousy is not a great thing. In this context, in this covenantal context, God's jealousy is good. It's not petty. It's not this petty envy. It's a covenantal love, not unlike a faithful husband's jealousy for his bride. God alone can say that, because He actually deserves ultimate devotion.
That's right.
Anyone else saying that rings hollow and empty, because it is hollow and empty. You can kind of like see through that, where He is truly the King of the universe, and to substitute anything in His place, which could be so many things, money, pleasure, or good things like family, elevating it to that is idolatry. So it's not just, carving images and that kind of thing. But anyway, your quote.
My quote from Martin Luther.
Ooh, I've heard
he
of him.
said, "The Christian shoemaker does his duty not by putting little crosses on the shoes, but by making good shoes.
Now
because God is interested in good craftsmanship."
This is like, I feel like the quintessential question of like the 90s, early 2000s and Christian contemporary music, are they supposed to be like preaching? Is it like, what's their role? Are they making music, or are they like missionaries? And some people are like, well, that band doesn't talk enough about Christ, and some, it's like this thing, like, what's it mean to be a Christian plumber? Are you handing out tracts? Maybe you are, or is it like, are you, or because you could go the other way and be like, this guy never fixes my sink. Like, he's not a good plumber. He just is like soliciting me the whole time, or you know what I mean? But that's I forgot about the quote. That's a good quote.
Yeah. So I think sometimes we can. I think there's two ditches here. One is to bifurcate everything and think, okay, here's my time with the Lord. Here's my time engineering or landscaping or helping people's backs or whatever it happens to be. But if you, because it is, but if you can see this other stuff as service to God, like I am doing this as unto the Lord, and I want to be the best PT that I can be. I want to be the best engineer that I can be. I want to be the best, quarterback that I can be, whatever your job or role is. And obviously there's a balance to that. Like, but you can do that. And I think you can delight in the opportunities that God has given you, because Adam and Eve out of the gate, they were to tend a garden. Right?
Yeah, they had a job.
You can show me that you love me by making this garden blossom and tilling it and making it, all the good things.
Keeping the snakes out of there.
Get the snakes
Get them out of there. Protect them. Yeah.
So I think that there can be a false idea that this false delineation between secular and sacred.
It's not just compartmentalizing. It's ordering things rightly. I like that. That's good, because your life is a life of worship. It's not like, hey, I go to church 10% of the time and then, whatever. Because you're right. So you spend a lot of time, especially with things like, I think that quote's good because it hits on, what most people spend a good part of their day. / I sleep a lot. I sleep like a third of the, of my time. You could, maybe if I slept like 15 hours, maybe I would be worshiping sleep, or,
right. You can probably put some stuff out of balance. And if you're pursuing being a quarterback to the detriment of your family and your role in your church,
here's a question.
Then that's probably out of balance.
Can you be an NFL quarterback and have the right balance just based on Lord's days out for you?
Yeah, I think Paul says, some people celebrate this day, some people celebrate another day. So I'm not convinced.
You're not a huge Sunday guy. As long as you're picking a day, you're like, find a church that worships on Tuesday and make that your day, and you can just like do whatever you want on Sunday.
Yeah.
Really? Yeah. Okay. I don't know. Yeah. Well, okay. I think there's something neat about Sunday set aside, but I get it too. I get if you're like a nerd. I get if there's like I guess maybe NFL quarterback.
Few quarterbacks are going to play until they're 45 or 46.
That's true.
Yeah. You're talking maybe 2 or 3 years for your average quarterback.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's an unusual example.
Yeah.
Because most churches, I just sticks to my head because pastor said it like on like Easter. Like there was like a church in Charleston that was like doing like 20 Easter services, like they were starting on Good Friday, was like where they started their Easter. I was like, that's just like weird to me to have like your Easter service on Good Friday.
Right. But what if that quarterback's like, I'm going to go to church on Saturday, the actual Sabbath?
Yeah, Saturday. This is like legalistic probably. Saturday sounds better than me than like, hey, I'm gonna like our church is meeting. And Tuesdays. I know time zones are different. It's not like everyone's worshiping together on the same day.
Sure.
But so that might just be more like not nostalgia, but more just like sentimental to be like, oh, a lot of Christians worshiping together, but that doesn't matter because people are worshiping at all different times.
Yeah. But if I sing Is He Worthy and we hit that place where he talks about, people every tongue and tribe and nation, and I think about all the Christians across the world basically worshiping the same time on a Sunday. Yeah, I do. I feel like there's a connection. But I think that I wouldn't judge someone if they chose a day different because that's what Paul told me to do.
Wow. Yeah. So let's get back. Time versus worship. Worship is about ultimate worth, trust, and love. Good question to ask yourself. Do I elevate this thing above God in my heart, my identity, or my obedience? What is the ultimate treasure of my heart? You could spend 40 hours more at work. And if work defines you more than Christ, or if you sacrifice obedience to God for career success, then that can become an idol. I think that easily can become an idol. But, and then there's the other side of it. You can You also don't want to be like apathetic to your work and be a bad worker because you're like, I just love God so much. I'm just always listening to sermons. Like, that's a bad way to go, too. So, practically you could ask yourself, does this bring me closer to God? Like, am I thinking about worshiping God? Am I obeying God? Mm-hmm. Would you obey God if it cost you this hobby or activity or job? Would that, would you be okay with losing that over that? Maybe that's a good test to ask yourself too. I think John Piper once said, like, whatever makes you the most happy, that is your God. I'm like, that's a good quote. What do you give your ultimate devotion and time to? What you got?
I was just going to read, part of the concern, it seems like, from this question is this idea of where my heart is and what I'm actually worshiping. And I was just thinking of this. I was right here, but I couldn't find it. It's actually literally the top verse on the page. So this is from the Sermon on the Mount, and it says, "Do not store up for yourselves treasure on earth, where moth and rust destroy, and where thieves break in and steal, but store up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where neither moth nor rust destroys, and where thieves do not break in or steal. For where your treasure is, there your heart will be also." And I think I mentioned this before, but when I was younger, I always thought that my heart would be a reflection of where my treasure is. And that's not what this is saying. This is saying where you make a decision to invest, your heart will naturally go there. So you invest in some, let's say you're a business owner, and you sponsor some soccer team. You put your money in there. Your heart is good. You're like, I'm going to want those people wearing my name to win. Yeah. You invest your time and talent treasures in a church and things of God. Your heart will naturally start going there, even if it's not at first.
That's right.
You can discipline yourself to say, "Hey, I'm going to start making investments in spiritual things." And show God that I'm going to, and that doesn't mean, like we said, that you stop doing your work. Because investing in your family and caring for them, whether it's being a homemaker or making a living or some combination of the two, those are ways that we still honor God.
No, that is really, really good. Good questions, good things to think about. Good questions to ask yourself, because that, if we're supposed to worship God. Your body's living sacrifice. You should be grappling with that. Reformed MD. Well, is it too big of a question? Or
and it's a little bit more of a intellectual question versus these are pastoral questions. So, We'll catch it later. We'll catch it later. Reformed MD.
All right, I love it. Listener questions are great. We should do this more often. That's our take. Thanks for listening to Take Two. Find us wherever you find podcasts and on YouTube for those who want to watch our videocast.